Welcome back, my fellow enthusiasts. Thank you for joining me and many others in this community who are involved or consider being more involved with their post-work space. Today I'm actually wearing my merchandise, We're Saint. You've heard me talk about it if you've listened in previous episodes, and I'm actually going to be talking about it today. It's going to be launching pretty soon. Maybe by the time you hear this, it will be in the market. But look, it is truly a rewarding lifestyle, pursuing your life after work. This is one of the things I am pursuing after work, and each episode this season gets you one step closer to fulfilling your legacy, growing your businesses, and filling up your time with things that bring you joy and value. In the previous episode, I shared how my time after work is built around a capacity system, the benefits of having one, and how to create your own with a couple of formulas. Have a listen if you haven't to understand how to forecast and plan for the time and resources you need to commit to post-work. Today, in under 25 minutes, I am going to share with you how I'm achieving my wildest dreams, my ambitious long-term goals, one short-term project at a time, in hopes that you'll learn from that and do the same for yourself. Honestly, I'm not supposed to be biased to any episode that I write or teach, but this is probably one of my favorites because of all the things I could have done better. This is one of the biggest lessons I've learned. And if it wasn't for this lesson, I most likely wouldn't be re-entering the world of entrepreneurship, which I talk about in the next episode and for the rest of the season. I most likely would not have tackled my grand passion projects, and I'm excited for this lesson, and I'm so happy to share with you today. In my 20s, my ambition often clashed with my reality. When a good idea found me, my response would be excitement, premature execution, lack of forecasting, and the lack of planning. And we know that's just not a good recipe for success. And look, I get it. It's tough coming up with great ideas. And when you come across one that you share with friends and the hype is real, whether they're being truthful or not, our natural response is, man, let me act on this now. But that's not a healthy response because think about it, have you considered the cost associated with this pursuit? Do you have the time, and how much of it is actually needed? Do you have the resources, right? Have resources being considered? And is this something you know you can do well, or do you need more time to learn to do it better? As I have matured, now I emphasize realism through proper planning, clear directions, setting achievable milestones, and being patient as things grow over time, not overnight. And this practice continues to contribute to all of the success I'm finding today. Let's dive deeper into those pillars I just mentioned. People often struggle to find a healthy balance between ambition and realism. And this imbalance can manifest in various ways. Now, one common pitfall is setting overly ambitious long-term goals without a clear plan for achieving them. Vincent van Gogh, I think I said his name right, once said, "Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together." This statement, this sentiment, it aligns with the idea that achievements and masterpieces are the result of consistent, sustained effort over time. I actually have a good story to share to help paint this picture. It's a story about a very ambitious and confident woman named Arnie. She was smart, loud, proud, just the kind of friend who'll come to you with a brilliant idea and actually follow through on it, right? Well, Arnie had this incredible vision to revolutionize the education industry, transforming how students learn and the curriculum that they engage with. But Arnie also struggled with bipolar disorder, which meant her enthusiasm for a project could shift in a heartbeat, okay? She'd be excited one moment, skeptical the next, and then diving in headfirst 30 seconds later. Now, what I admire about Arnie is her willingness to try, but her ambitions sometimes overshadowed the need for careful planning. She forgot about crucial aspects like securing business funding, navigating obstacles, and creating a roadmap for execution. And her idea was brilliant, but her ambitions soared higher than a hot air balloon, and eventually she drifted away with it. I wonder where she is now. Arnie, where are you? We miss you. So what really happened? I think Arnie took off too fast, and she failed to plan for and put stakes in the ground for these exact obstacles. This scenario highlights a common mistake: failing to bring our lofty intentions down to reality. So what have I found to be healthy steps to balance ambition and reality? Well, the first one is we need to set clear intentions and direction and expectations, right? We all know vision boards are so trendy right now. We have vision boards for our personal lives. We have vision boards for relationships we're not even in yet. We have them for our careers. We have them for our hobbies. Some have them for their pets. And that's what many people think is enough, okay? I am gonna make this loud and clear. Vision boards are not enough. Now, let me rephrase that with more detail. I wanna stress that relying solely on vision boards, talks about what you wanna do, even some light experimentation, it all falls short in practicality. Look, these often serve as just placeholders for idealized desires rather than concrete plans. It's cool to see you want to achieve the success of Oprah, teach what you know on stages that the late greats like Steve Jobs once graced, wake up drinking out of a Grammy, swimming in a pool of Benjamin Franklin's. I don't know how that would feel, but sounds nice. And look, great job that you've told your friends and family about your plans and you've marked up the ideal end result rather, on paper. But you need more than that. The more detailed your plans are, you increase the likelihood of achieving your desired outcomes or not. Now, let's talk about that or not, right, for a moment. There was a time when knowing what's expected of me saved me from losing all I had, from friends to pennies in my bank account. When I moved to New York City, I embarked on a particularly promising initiative, an exclusive membership club. And I can't go into details of the concept at this time because I think I might pick it up in the future, right? Especially after doing this season and reflecting on those mistakes I made in my 20s. But I teamed up with a really cool, capable business partner, and we meticulously outlined every aspect of the venture, from defining our business objectives and identifying our target demographic to assessing profitability and drafting a comprehensive roadmap. Literally, we detailed every project's phase and financial requirements. And at the time, I was earning a very modest income. I was barely scraping by and living on my friend's hardwood futon. That's what it felt like, in like this 250 square foot apartment. So I'm really thankful for this plan because it took an ideal venture and aligned it with my reality. Having a meticulously detailed vision allowed me to grasp the magnitude of what was required for the initiative to even take off, let alone thrive. And it became very apparent that the endeavor was beyond my current capacity, as I would have to quit my job then, a risk I wasn't prepared to take. Hell, it wasn't like I could call my parents and ask for $500,000 to quit my job. I can see both of them laughing still at this moment if I was, and telling me every holiday, did you know that one time this boy called us and asked us for $500,000? However, this realization did not deter me. Look, it's okay to acknowledge that right now, certain ventures require too much for us to pursue based on our current capacity. But the hope for you today and me is that, what I learned later in life is that pragmatism and adaptability, they enable us to pursue really such ambitious goals. And rather than abandoning my vision entirely, I recognized I could have just broken it down into smaller, manageable projects that could be pursued incrementally, aligning with my current capabilities and resources. And so what does that look like for me now that I've learned that lesson, and how can you do the same? Well, let's talk about short-term projects and milestones. Short-term projects are quick wins you tackle with clear goals and tasks. Little stepping stones taking you closer to the bigger picture. Now, right now, I'm knee deep in the hustle with Weird Saint, from product development, merch design, with manufacturers, marketing. And here's the thing that's keeping me on track and making strides: short-term projects. Now, for those who haven't tuned in before, allow me to introduce my brand, Weird Saint. I actually don't think I've actually introduced it in detail. It's a fusion brand, right? It offers luxury apparel. It's a collaborative content studio where we make innovative products, and it's a community that revolves around embracing our true selves and celebrating individuality. It started 6 years ago as Weird and Okay. After 2 years, it would take me to finalize the concept. We did launch, but right before the onset of the pandemic, which brought its own set of challenges. However, during this time, I took the opportunity to reevaluate the brand's direction. I clarified its objectives, missions, and envisioned the ultimate potential, very similar to what I did for the social club I had a plan for. Now look, if I had the capital and time, what would Weird Saint be? That's the main question I asked myself. And I didn't settle this time until I felt my gut say, that's it. Now, when the big picture became clear, I acknowledged that this is going to take capital and time to materialize such ambitious plan. A content studio specializing in films and events alone is still a scary, intimidating task. But that's why now I often keep my vision to myself because not everyone will understand the magnitude of the journey. Even my mom questioned the progress of Weird Saint during a period of silence, but I assured her that significant work was happening behind the scenes. Now, even more, I believe in the philosophy of move in silence, because not everyone will understand the great things you're doing take time. As a perfectionist, I refuse to rush the process or force my ideas onto others prematurely. Instead, I break down my long-term goals into manageable milestones and focus on short-term projects that align with the larger vision. This deliberate approach ensures that every step taken brings me closer to realizing the full potential of Weird Saint, even if it takes time. To ensure this, I break things down into phases, all right? As have always been the case. For Weird Saint, phase 1 needs to be completed by such date to ensure that I'm following my timeline. Now, in this phase, there are goals, and those goals usually have a start date, an end date, a budget, and time commitment. Some of the plans in phase 1 look like strategizing marketing, working with a manufacturer for quality apparel. This is quality. Building out what the digital identity of my brand looks like, from videos, photography, and tone of voice. All of these matter. Such things allow me to properly plan, make sure I don't miss anything, and keeps me on course. Because this is only 20 minutes, we don't really have time to go into details. So join that email list and I'll share with you when my extended workshop and workbook is available. But what's important to know is that I've turned every aspect of Weird Saint into these bite-sized, doable projects. Because of it, I'm experiencing continuous progress without the chaos. So if you're wondering how to keep the momentum going, it's all about implementing short-term projects. Define your objectives, lay out the tasks, set those deadlines, and watch those big goals come to life, one project at a time. As we wrap up this episode, let me leave you with a nugget of motivation, one that I've learned the hard way. See, man, I used to think success was this race, this sprint to the finish line. But you know what's been the absolute game changer for me? Taking my time. Understand, my fellow enthusiasts, that the journey to success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Achievements take time, and each step is a part of the ambitious picture. I've learned that success isn't about rushing. It's about pacing yourself, mastering each milestone, and being patient with the process. It's like tending to a garden. Each seed needs its own time to sprout and flourish. Great ideas are also like fine wine. Cheers. They need time to mature and develop their full potential. Rushing into execution out of fear of missing out or worrying about someone stealing our ideas, fear of not being as good as your colleagues who have these grand hobbies, it only undermines the depth and quality of our vision. Instead, embracing patience allows us to refine our concepts, think about our reasons, reroute our plans, ensuring they resonate authentically with ourselves and others. By prioritizing quality over speed, we cultivate something truly remarkable, wins we can be proud of, and that others will value.